Hi, I'm April Holland, a certified business counselor at the Mississippi Small Business Development Center. The Mississippi Small Business Development Center is an accredited member of America's Small Business Development Centers. The MSBDC network has assisted Mississippi businesses since 1981. The Mississippi Small Business Development Center was created in 1981 during the Reagan administration. 50% of our funding comes from the U.S. Small Business Administration. The other 50% comes from the state of Mississippi, the University of Mississippi, and our host institutions throughout the state of Mississippi. The Mississippi Small Business Development Center was created to help small businesses be successful. Most of our services are provided to you at no cost, your tax dollars at work. The impact of our services are great. We contribute to business success in the state of Mississippi. Today, we're going to talk about how to develop a business plan. The first question we want to ask is, why do we need to write a business plan? Well, I liken a business plan to a resume. How many of you have a resume? How many versions of your resume do you have? With your personal resume, you update it as you acquire new knowledge, skills, and abilities. With your business plan talks about what your current state of your business is. So you want to update it as your business acquires new skills, new capabilities, new capacities. You need to make changes in your business. That's when you need to update your business plan. So let's talk about why. Why do I need a business plan? A business plan is a decision-making tool. It helps you to form strategy before you actually start your business. It helps you test the viability of your business before you get it started. It helps with communication. So if you need funding, you're going to need to communicate to the lender what the current state of your business is. You're going to need it for investors if you have investors in your business. Sometimes you'll need to provide a section of your business plan for your suppliers, for your landlord, and for various vendors that you have. Your employees might need to see a section of your business plan called your operations plan, where you have your standard operating procedures so your employees know what's expected of them. Let's go back to analysis. This is a tool. This business plan is a tool to help you figure out what you need to do before you invest time, talent, and resources on an idea or a business or a product or service to see if it is worth selling. Okay? This is a guide to action. This is how you say when things get done, how things get done, what needs to be done. It helps you to take these tasks and put them into smaller tasks so you can get them done. So when should you write a business plan? Some of you might be writing a business plan to secure funding. Some of you might be writing a business plan to figure out what you need to do, form your standard operating procedures. Some of you might have to present your plan to a family member who wants to invest in your company. So the best time to do one is before you get started. You also need to do a business plan when you need money. When you need money to buy inventory, when you need money to buy equipment, when you need money to hire people. It is a regular part of running your business. It's not a one and done. It's an ongoing process. I remember I had a client years ago who wanted to buy a business. The seller was on the phone with the client. So I asked the seller, I said, "Do you have a business plan?" The seller said, "Yeah, I have a business plan." I was like, "Great. When was the last time you updated it?" She told me the last time she updated her business plan was 12 years ago when she started her business. That's the wrong answer. Because again, remember, you need to update your business plan as changes occur in your business because this states the current state of your business. Your business plan also adds value to your business. If you have a standard operating procedure, a standard way of doing business, when you get ready to sell that business, don't you think it would be better to have an instruction manual, i.e., your business plan, to provide to the buyer of your business? It adds value. So, again, this is not a one and done. It's something you are going to continue to update throughout the life cycle of your business. So let's talk about putting your business plan together. Your business plan should look professional. It is a lot of times the first indicator of what your business is. People are going to judge your business based on this business plan. They're going to judge your potential for success. So you want it to be professional. Typically, it's not going to be more than 20 to 30 pages long. That's excluding the supporting documents. And we'll talk about the supporting documents, the appendix, the attachments that you need to have along with your business plan. It should be typed in black ink. The font should be one type of font, okay? It should be easy to read. It should be neatly bound. Sometimes neatly bound means stapled, okay? You really don't have to be fancy. You need to track the copies that you have out there. You don't want copies of your business plan just out there. If you do provide your business plan to someone, you want to retrieve that copy back. You don't just want to have your business plan hovering out there. You don't want anybody to take your idea. Okay? All right. So the first section of the business plan is the cover sheet. Well, the first section that you're going to work on is the cover sheet. This serves as the title page. This is where you're going to have the name of your company, the address where the company is located. That could be home. That could be a physical location of your company. It could be a virtual address. It should also have the company phone number. The name, title, address, and phone numbers of the owner should be there. The month and the year this business plan was prepared should be there. And the name of the preparer if you were assisted by somebody to do your business plan. Sometimes I've seen the logo of the business plan on the cover page as well. With this business plan, make sure you number the pages of this plan, okay? So we are going to have the executive summary. So the executive summary, it is exactly what it says. It is a summary of your business plan. It is the last section to be written, but the first section of the plan after that cover page, okay? After that table of contents. So in Your executive summary, you're going to briefly summarize your business concept. What inspired you to create this business? What was the problem, the opportunity that presented itself to make you, the owners, believe that now is the time to bring this product or service to the market? This is where you will discuss your company. What type of company is it? Is it a LLC? Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it a corporation? What state was that corporation formed in? What city is the company located in? And what date was that company actually formed? When did you open the doors to your business? Market potential. This is where you're going to briefly discuss again, why is now the time for you to start this business? Does the market want your product or service? Who is your target market? Who is going to buy what you're selling? Are you selling to consumers? Are you selling to businesses? Are you selling to the government? Who are the key players that are going to bring this business to life? What makes them the right person for the job to bring this business to life? What are your distinct competencies? When we talk about distinct competencies, what experiences, what certifications, what degrees, what experience, job experience do you have performing the job that it's going to take to bring this business to life, to make this business successful? Strategy, we're talking about required funding. What funding do you need to start this business? If this business plan is to start a company, what funding do you need? If this business plan is to grow a company, what funding do you need? What are you going to use it for? And when we talk about the exit strategy, when are you going to pay it back? How are you going to pay that money back? Okay. So the next section, this is where we talk about organizational plans. We're going to specifically dive deep into describing this business. This is where you're going to say what your mission statement is, what your vision is. What have you done thus far to bring this business to life? What current stage are you in with this business? Are you getting ready to open the doors to your business, or have you already opened the doors to your business? What steps have you taken to get there? What are the capabilities of this business? What products, what services do you offer to the market? What are the objectives of this business? What do you set out to do with this business? What are your keys to success? This is where you're going to discuss the location of your business and facilities. Some types of businesses require you to have a specific type of facility to produce your product, to produce your service. Some types of companies are required to be in a certain part of town. You might have to be in an industrial park if you are a manufacturer. So you're going to discuss that there. You are also going to discuss the timing of your market entry. So why is now the time for you to bring your business to the market? You will discuss that in this section. So the next thing you're going to discuss are your products and your service. You are going to describe each source of revenue as it is segmented in your financials. What do I mean by that? You're going to discuss each item or category of items if you have a vast catalog of products or services that you offer. You're going to describe how you are going to make money. What are you going to sell to make money? What is your value proposition? What value are you bringing to that customer that's going to make them want to spend money with you as opposed to your competition? How does your product or service benefit the customer? Again, what is going to make them spend money with you as opposed to spending it with someone else? What are the differences from the current offerings? When I say that, I am speaking of what is your competition offering? Why is your product or service different from your competition's? If you're a manufacturer, there are things that you need to describe here. Describe the products that you're manufacturing. Talk about the manufacturing process. Include information on suppliers and availability of your raw materials and products. If you're a retailer, you need to describe the items that you sell. Include information about your suppliers or alternate sources of suppliers of your inventory. If you are a service, you're going to describe your initial service and if you plan to add any additional services in the future. You're going to talk about your background in that industry, any certifications, licenses, or qualifications that set you apart and allow you to practice that particular service. The next thing you want to discuss is your legal structure. When we talk about your legal structure, we are briefly talking about how your company is set up. Your company will be set up as a sole proprietor, a limited liability company, a limited liability partnership, a professional limited liability company, a corporation. There are several types of legal structures that are covered, and those were discussed in starting a business first steps. You are going to discuss why you selected that type of business. Again, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but SBDC counselors are not practicing accountants, attorneys. We will not offer you legal advice. We might suggest certain things. However, we will refer you to professionals. So you need to discuss why you selected that legal structure. An accountant or an attorney can assist you with figuring out what the best structure is for your type of business. You're going to list the owners of this company and a short biography on each one of the owners. You want to highlight what makes them the right person to operate this type of business. The next thing you want to discuss is the management. Who are the managers that you are going to put in your company to make your business run, to make your business success? Who will actually run this business? Who is actually going to perform operations for this business? You're going to describe their responsibilities. What are their qualifications? What make them the right ones for the team? You're going to list projected salaries and attach their resumes in the supporting documents. Personnel. You're going to list personnel, non-managerial personnel that are going to be required to operate this business. You're going to list tasks that they are going to be required to complete, if there's any education required, if there is a work schedule required of an individual performing duties, and what compensation, what is their hourly wage, what commissions, what bonuses are you going to provide to your personnel. The next thing we're going to discuss is record keeping and accounting. You're going to discuss what system will be used for maintaining your financial records. You want to do that up front. You want to figure out what accounting system you are going to use. You want to learn how to use that accounting system properly. Who is going to be responsible for tax accounting? What do you have planned for periodically financial analysis? You don't want to wait till tax time to figure out what's going on with your business. Um, One industry standard for accounting, a lot of people use QuickBooks. QuickBooks is fairly easy to use, especially if you have a professional help you set that up. So you're definitely going to want to, before you get started, look into what type of accounting system you are going to use. Insurance. There are several types of insurance that you will need to protect you and your business from loss. Okay? Property liability, life and health, auto, disability, business interruption, errors and omissions, whatever kind of insurance you need for the type of industry you're in, you're going to need to list that. You are also going to need to list how much it costs and who you're going to use for that carrier. Security, there are things that you need to figure out ahead of time. How are you going to handle inventory control? How are you going to handle shrinkage, theft? How would you handle vandalism? And you definitely need to look into cybersecurity because a lot of you will be taking payments via credit card, and there is a lot of cybercrime going on. There's cybercrime where websites are being held for ransom. You definitely need to look into things like that, and you will discuss that in your business plan. Your marketing plan. This section is going to cover market research, where you're going to discuss who your customer is, and you are going to discuss how you are going to get customers, how you are going to keep those customers, and how you will grow your customer base. So, very, very important is market analysis. This is where you figure out who your ideal customer is, who wants to buy your product or service. You're going to define the overall market. You're going to define whether that market is going to be consumers. Is that market going to be other businesses? Is that is that customer going to be the government? Or is it going to be a combination of two or more of those segments? You need to discuss the market size and how that market is going to grow. What are market trends in your industry? Market segments, targeted market. Who are you targeting? Who is your ideal customer? You're going to need to list customer characteristics. What are some hobbies, habits, and characteristics of your ideal customer? You need to discuss your customer need. Why does your customer need your product or your service? You'll need to discuss that in this section. You'll need to discuss that purchasing decision process. So, from the time that customer walks into the door of your business till the time they make that purchase, what is that process? And what are you going to do to keep your customer from coming into your store, looking at a product or finding out more about your service, and if they decide to buy that product, they want that product, but they take their phone out and buy it from Amazon right in front of you in your store. What are you going to do to keep that from happening? So the next thing you need to look at is your competition. Who is your competition? What products and services do they offer? What market share do they have? What is their competitive advantage? And one of the things I like to see is a side-by-side comparison of the competition. And I like to see you compare your company to that competition because at that time you can take a realistic look at how we are going to compete with this company. Okay, there's a few things you need to look at. Promotion. How are you going to promote your product, your service, your company? Are you going to do advertising? Are you going to have publicity? Are you going to attend trade shows? Are you going to form partnerships with complementary companies that offer products that work well with the product that you sell or the services that you sell? Are you going to offer discounts, incentives, warranties? What kind of sales force are you going to have? Are you going to have a dedicated sales force, or is everybody in that company responsible for making the sales in that company? Sales forecast. How many widgets are you going to sell in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year? You need to figure out how many items you are going to sell. You need to figure out if your products or services are seasonal. So you need to be able to make up for that. Pricing. You need to do market research on pricing. What are your competitors charging for the same products or services? What are the costs to create these services and create these products? There might be cost involved in creating these products. So you need to discuss that there. An industry analysis. So you're going to need to do a SWOT analysis where you discuss your company's strengths, your company's weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So some strengths might be your experience in the industry. Some weaknesses might be, you're new. You are new to this industry. You need to discuss what opportunities presented themselves to make you believe that now is the time to operate this business. And threats. What threats are out there that could sabotage your business? What threats are out there? Your competition. You need to discuss in all of these how you are going to deal with this threat. You're going to want to summarize the industry in dollars, the annual growth rate, barriers to entry. What is going to keep somebody else from opening the same type of business that you have to compete directly with you? How does supply and distribution work in your industry? What technology factors are involved in your industry? Seasonality. Again, some of you might operate in an industry that is seasonal. What are some of the economic influences that take place that will make it better for you to make a sale or make it worse for you to make a sale? What are some regulatory issues that you have to deal with in your industry? So we have a report called the IBIS World Report that has all of this information in it. Okay. Except you're going to have to get personal, especially with the SWOT analysis, because you need to be realistic about your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Well, let me get back to this IBIS World Report. This is a report that we have access to that provides information on your industry. This report is offered to you at no cost because you are a client of the Small Business Development Center once you start working with us. So don't worry about this section too much. We have the report that can provide you with content for this particular section. So we need to talk about your plan of action and milestones. So in your plan of action and milestones section, you need to discuss tasks, items that you need to accomplish, that you need to buy in order to reach the goal in your business that you're trying to achieve. Is it starting a business up? Is it adding a new product or service? Or is it expanding your team or expanding your business? What are you trying to do in your business? So, this is where you would discuss the actual thing that needs to be done, how long it's going to take you to accomplish that goal, and how much does it cost to get that. You need to discuss, do you have any contracts signed? Do you have any commitment letters out there that says once you open the doors, we are going to buy products from you? How are you going to break even? What do I mean when I say what are we going to do to break even? Breaking even is being able to pay your bills. Hopefully, you're in business for more than to be able to pay your bills. Are you looking at expanding your company? What do you need the additional funding for? What other significant milestones are you looking to achieve in your business? You will list them here on this page. So, how many of you like numbers? Let me put it another way. How many of you like money? I'm sure all of you like money. So, in business, money is the numbers that we're measuring. We are discussing in financial projections the money coming in, the money going out of our business. So, in your summary for financial need, you're going to make assumptions on when you're going to start. There are several things you're going to make assumptions on. And we will definitely go over that when we sit down with the one-on-one counseling. We will create financial projections that help you to figure out these assumptions. And we use standardized reports for your industry, what your competitors are doing in your industry, in your geographic area, to help you come up with some realistic numbers. So you're going to assume things like how much everybody is going to make in your company, how much you're going to sell in your company, how much inventory you need, all kinds of things. All right. So you're going to need to provide 3 years of financial statements. Again, when we sit down to make these financial projections, we are going to create 3 years of balance sheets, income statement, and profit and loss statement, also known as the cash flow statement. Okay, money coming in, money going out. You're going to do a break even analysis, meaning how many widgets do you need to sell in order to be able to pay bills. You're going to look at key ratios. So we're talking about profit. How many do we need to sell to make a profit? What is our overhead? What are our costs? What are our fixed costs? What are our variable costs? We're going to assist you with all of that, okay? If you decide to allow us to counsel you on doing your business plan. You're going to discuss your financial resources that you have available, as well as a financial strategy. How are you going to remain profitable in business? All right, so the next thing we're going to look at is supporting documents. These are documents you are going to need to have in addition to your business plan. Okay? You're not going to just add things that don't matter, no fluff, just things that are necessary in order to state your case if you, especially if you're looking for funding. You need to prove that you are ready for business and that you are going to be able to pay that loan back. That's basically what it boils down to. All right. And you're going to be able to execute this business idea. You want to be successful. Okay. So, supporting documents that are needed. You need to have resumes on all of the owners as well as the managers. So the type of resume that we like to see is a functional resume. What a functional resume does, as opposed to a chronological, functional resume speaks to the knowledge, skills, and abilities that you have that are going to be helpful with you operating this business. So each one of the owners need to provide a personal financial statement. You'll also want to pull a credit report ahead of time. That way there's no surprises when you apply for funding. Okay. If you have copies of leases, mortgages, and purchase agreements that are related to your business, you should provide those. Some funders will want you to have a letter of reference. If you have any contracts in place, you would want to include those. You would want to have photographs. When we talk about photographs, if you have specific items that you have for sale, you might want to include those. You might want to include a screenshot of your website. You might want to have brochures, menus, marketing materials. Other legal documents that you might be required to provide is your legal structure certificate, whether it's your LLC or your corporation or your fictitious name statement if you're a sole proprietor. If you have insurance, partnership agreements, um, operation agreements, operating agreements, equipment quotes, inventory purchases. Those are going to be important things that you will need to have, and the lender may require them. Okay. So if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to us at the Mississippi Small Business Development Center. We have offices throughout the state of Mississippi. Find a center near you. I have provided you with a sample, well, a handout. And in that handout, if you look at it on your computer with your PDF, you can click on those links and reach out to the center that is located near you. So one of the things I like to bring up, a lot of clients ask, so what's next? What do I need to do next? So after watching how to develop a business plan, we recommend that you watch cash flow projections for your business plan. After you finish these workshops, you should be well versed and ready to start working on your business plan. So after you finish business plan, cash flow, and the first workshop, starting a business, first steps, once you finish those workshops, you would figure out which counselor you would like to work with. And I recommend that you email that counselor. Email the counselor direct that you would like to work with and say, I'm ready to start working on my business plan. And we are more than happy to assist you. Again, find a center that is near you and find a great counselor. We have great counselors throughout the system. So, again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about how to develop a business plan. All right. You take care, and we look forward to talking with you soon.